Hey, I'm ZEALYN from LA, and you're listening to We Found New Music with Grant Owens.
You just heard Overwhelmed featuring Aaron Marsh by ZEALYN on We Found New Music. Her new EP, Limbic System, is out now. She's going to be playing the bootleg here in Los Angeles on July 31st. Welcome to We Found New Music.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be here, finally. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. We've been a proud supporter of yours.
Yeah, you have been.
We've done some really cool stuff in town. We had your LA debut at School Night.
Yes.
What a cool moment.
It's so incredibly thankful for. What a cool debut.
It was such a warm room, just like such a great reception, such a great debut for you. And moving forward, we can't wait to continue to support you. So you have a show at the Bootleg.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. It's obviously only my second show with all this new music, and I always look forward to performing. So I can't wait for it, and hopefully new people will come out.
We can't wait for it either. So when did you realize you had a passion for music?
Well, I've always loved to sing, but I think I realized the passion in high school when I started taking all the music classes, and I did theater and all this stuff. But I think then is when I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to do this the rest of my life?
Totally. And you were always a singer.
Always. Cool. I always sang. My family's super musical, so I grew up with it. And I always knew I wanted to do it.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Boston.
Okay.
Just north of Boston, actually, a nice small town called Beverly, Massachusetts. Yep. So I grew up there, and all my friends, all my family, everyone was just music. And so surrounded by talent.
And when did you move to Los Angeles?
So I moved, that's a great question. 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago?
January of 2014. Yep. So it's been a while. I love it. It's home now. I really do love it. I
mean, I don't have anything to compare it to because I grew up here. I was born here, but it's interesting to hear somebody else's perspective, having been moved here for a couple of years. What's it like in LA as an independent artist?
It's tough because, I don't know. In Boston, I felt like I was one of the best. I was like, oh my gosh, music, I feel so cool, whatever. Then you come out here and you realize you are nothing. There's so many artists that are 10 times better than you, just such good talent out here, so much of it. So it was really humbling, and it kind of put it into perspective. I need to work 10 times harder. I need to have 10 times better songs. And so it's hard, but it's so encouraging. That's the thing that I love about LA. It's so
keeps
so
you
motivating.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Keeps you hungry. It keeps you driven.
Yeah. If you start to slack, you see everyone else kicking butt, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta step up.
Gotta keep it, I mean, there's so much going on around town. There's, 10 shows a night.
Always.
And you're just really watching all these top of your game performers.
Yeah. And I would say most, not all, but most are just really good. And every show is just great.
Yeah, well, that's what we gravitate to is those solid artists. So let's talk about your sound on this new EP, which is called Limbic System. So describe the sound and how it's evolved since you've kind of been working on music.
Well, my sound has definitely evolved a lot. I started as a pop artist, and I wasn't being creative. I never pushed myself. It was just very generic pop music. And I got really sick of it. And I knew that I really wanted to just experiment more and create more and work with artists that had such incredible talent. And that's what I've been able to do with this. It's so hard to pinpoint what Limbic System sounds like. There's so much to it. There's so much emotion, so much poured into it. I haven't been able to pinpoint I sound like this artist. It's the hardest question ever. But
I guess who are you kind of enjoying these days? Who do you look up to as an artist these days? Maybe more on the indie side of things.
Ooh, the indie.
Because it's kind of your sound now, indie pop.
Yeah, I have to say I might not know too many indie artists, but I love Aurora and Lainey and Gallant and
Violet Skies.
Violet Skies. Oh my goodness, I love Violet Skies. X's and there's so much good music out there. It's so crazy. I love Fickle Friends. They're great. And
That's a great example of it's pop music, but it's more adventurous.
Yeah.
Just kind of keeping things exciting.
Yeah, every single one of those artists, I would love to do a tour with them. I would love to collaborate with every single one of them. Like, yeah.
You can tell that they are being creative and taking it to that next level for themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's really what We Found Your Music's about. So that's really cool to hear your journey took you to this place.
Yeah.
Because we're pop fans, but we always enjoy taking it to the next level.
Yeah, every We Found New Music hosted like show that I've been to with just like a bunch of artists that perform, everyone's so good. Everyone's different, and they're all like, just, you can tell like they're just about to make it. Hopefully they're just about to get there.
That is the most exciting part of it, because we all feel like, how is this artist not packing rooms? And when is it going to happen?
Yeah.
Cool. So Limbic System, why that title?
Well, so I did research before I went into the studio, and just to get inspiration, and I like picked apart the brain, and limbic system is a part of your nervous system. It has so much to do with how your emotions are controlled, and it stores memories. It just does so much, and you never even know it existed. Like, I was like, what? My body needs this, and I didn't even know that it was there. And so it just intrigued me, and I write from a point of a lot of emotion and thoughts at a certain point in time, like being stressed out and just so many emotions. Every song is a different emotion. That limbic system just made sense. It just kind of summed it up lyrically. It's all about emotions and memories and all that kind of stuff.
Wow, it's a broad subject, so it's a good option for a title for a full project.
Yeah,
that's cool. Your producer is Aaron Marsh. How did you meet him, and what was it like working with him on this?
It was incredible working with him on this. I'm a huge fan of Aaron Marsh and Copeland. I love Copeland, the band, and always like thought to myself, oh, it would be so cool to work with him. But he's like doing his own thing. He's like big, whatever. Ran into him at a coffee shop. Just went in. It was before one of his shows, and I got coffee before one of his shows, and he was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to say hi. So I go up to him. I'm like, hey, Aaron, and long story short, later that night through Twitter direct message, thank God for Twitter.
Yeah.
I asked him if he would produce my next project, and he said yes. And a month later, I flew out to Florida and spent 2 months there and wrote and recorded the entire thing with him.
Wow. So you really hit it off.
Really, it was right away. We just hit it off. We had like one phone call in the beginning to start it, and it was probably like, I don't even remember. It was a very long phone call, just talking about the sound, kind of what we want the music to be like. And he's a big part of how I discovered this sound and why ZEALYN is ZEALYN.
That's incredible. Yeah. Talk about the writing process a little bit. You've written a lot of it on your own, but also you've written with JMR and Aaron as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The whole every single song is written by me, Aaron Marsh, and David Williams. It's just the three of us. We spent 2 months together in the studio, and every single song was written in those 2 months and recorded. It was crazy. I don't highly recommend it because it's kind of stressful. It's like, crap, we have like 6 more songs to do in this much time. But it was so fun. You're kind of forced to be creative, but I like that. I kind of like being forced sometimes. Like, this pushes you. And, but yeah, writing it was incredible. So much fun. I was super inspired by Aaron Marsh and how he writes music. And JMR did his verse. We actually didn't write that together. I just told him to do his thing, and he did it like so quick, and it was perfect.
So cool. That's a really cool song too.
Yeah.
That's cool. So then you guys were all in a room, and was there a lot of writer's block, or was it a really good experience? Like, do you feel like you'd be able to go into a room again and just kind of feel that much more confident about that?
There was, probably after like a month, there was bad writer's block. I remember there was one day that was just bad. We couldn't think of anything. I was getting stressed out, which made them stressed out. It was like, it's intense when you're in the studio and it's like, we have to make this music now. So I think next time I would definitely have much more written before I go into the studio. Because there's definitely, writer's block is a horrible thing. I hate it. I'm sure.
And, you have such high expectations for yourself, and just trying to meet those expectations constantly is just so tough. Yeah. That's amazing, though. The latest single is Overwhelmed, featuring Aaron Marsh. What did you write about on this song?
Well, I think it's kind of a straightforward song. Lots of the EP is very metaphorical, and you kind of need to really dive into the lyrics to to really grasp what it's saying. But this one, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I told Aaron to, the first verse is his, and it's kind of an experience in life that he's had where he was the most stressed and overwhelmed. And so I kind of carried that whole lyrical topic into the pre-chorus and chorus and the rest of the song. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Being stressed out.
That was an interesting choice to kind of start the song with him, rather than you starting it, but that's bold.
Yeah, you know what? It
was unexpected, which is cool.
Like I said, Copeland is such an inspiration to me. I grew up listening to them. So when he said, hey, like we talked about him being featured on a song, and I was just like, okay, but if you are, it's not just going to be a little verse. I want it to be more of a duet and more of like a true big collaboration. So that was all me. Like I wanted him. At one point he was like, so this is your song and I want to make sure people know it's yours, so I shouldn't sing there. And I was like, okay.
Well, that's what I was curious about, but I mean, I think it's clear that it's yours once you come in there.
Thanks.
But it was a unique choice. But I think you're just very proud of him being involved, and you wanted to include him.
Yeah, and I think people loved it. I think people responded very well to him being.
I think it's awesome.
Thanks.
And there's a cool like blippy sound that starts the song. How did you come about that sound? How long did that take to find?
So that was a surprise. There was a few things. There was probably like 5 different things to me on the album that he did in post when I wasn't there in post, when he was mixing, but he did so much more in the mixing process. And like the intro to Hillside, the bridge to, that's a song that hasn't released yet. Just kidding. Okay. So the intro to Hillside and that little part in the beginning of Overwhelmed, I never knew that was going to happen. And when he sent me the mixes and the masters, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that part. It's so good. So.
It's cool because I don't really know Copeland as a very electronic sounding band, but the two of you kind of created this unique sound that I haven't heard from him or you either. This is a very different thing for you.
Yeah, very different.
That's cool. So we have the EP out, Limbic System. What's next? New singles, remixes?
Yeah, so currently talking to some really awesome artists that are going to do some remixes, which I'm excited about. I don't have a date. I don't know when or anything, but super excited for that. I also have a few songs that are ready to be released whenever. Just got to be strategic with it and release them in the right way. But I'm so excited for people to hear those. And yeah, so there's definitely some stuff. Obviously shows. August, end of July to early September is just like all shows.
I noticed that you have a lot of shows booked.
Yeah.
Around not just LA.
Yeah, no, there's going to be 3 shows in LA from July to early September. And then I'm going on the East Coast, Boston, New York, all the way down the West Coast with this really cool tour called West Coast Ghost. And it's just a bunch of artists it's going to be made into a documentary, just like live on the road kind of thing. It's really sweet. I'm excited.
That sounds really unique. You have to keep us posted on that.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to put it on our blog, actually.
Yeah.
We found your music. Cool. So then I guess the most immediate show to look forward to is the bootleg on July 31st. Do you know your set time, actually?
9:30.
Okay. Oh, 9:30.
Yep, 9:30.
I didn't think you knew it. That's awesome.
No, I know it because actually someone asked me today and I was like, oh crap, I got to look this up. So 9:30.
All right, cool. Well, we will have to be there. Cool. So then where can people find your music?
Well, it's everywhere. It's on Spotify, Instagram, yeah, whatever. Okay, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. My website is just ZEALYN.co. All the tour dates, all the music stuff, everything's all there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio. It's been a long time coming, and we can also thank Violet Skies for introducing you to us.
Seriously, thank you, Violet. I'm so glad to know you through her.
It's been an unbelievable journey because we also had a duet with you and her last night in a concert. So keep an eye on you and her.
I think she should just move out here.
I agree.
I really do.
I really do. Yep.
She's out here enough. It's like, come on, Violet, just move out here already.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And we can't wait till that happens.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll keep playing your EP on repeat. It is Limbic System by ZEALYN. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.